All right. So you want to understand how those pro traders actually make money, right?
Mm,
You sent us this article and it
yeah.
claims it has like the secret sauce, the holy grail of trading strategies
Yeah. Yeah.
using support and resistance levels.
And they say it's not just about identifying the levels, right? It's like they're saying it's a whole approach, like a
Ha.
cheat code almost,
Yeah. Yeah.
that they claim can consistently make you money.
Exactly. Exactly. But okay, before we get too far into this, let's just break down the
Yeah.
basics.
Yeah, for sure.
What are support and resistance levels and why should we even care?
Okay. Imagine a price chart, right?
Okay.
It's not just some random squiggly line.
Yeah, yeah.
There are these points where the price kind of bounces up from like it hits a floor.
Okay.
That's your support level. And then there are points where it's like really struggling to break through,
Okay.
like a ceiling. That's resistance.
Okay, so these levels, they act like these boundaries for the price. But why do they even form in the first place? What causes that?
It all comes down to supply and demand.
Okay.
That's what drives any market, right?
Yeah.
So a support level forms when there are enough buyers
Oh.
that are like, you know what? I'm ready to step in and buy
Right.
whenever that price drops to this level. It's like a safety net.
Okay. Yeah.
On the other hand, resistance forms when there are enough sellers
Yeah.
who are like, all right, I'm ready to get rid of my stuff to sell
Okay.
whenever the price rallies up to this point.
Interesting. So it's almost like a psychological
Yeah.
battleground
Yes.
with the buyers and sellers just constantly like
Yeah.
testing each other at these key levels.
Exactly. And so this trader's strategy is all built around understanding
Okay.
and then exploiting those battlegrounds.
Right. And they're not just like randomly trading at any support or resistance level. They're emphasizing this thing. They call it stalking.
Stalking the level.
The level.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Well, think about like a predator stalking its prey, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's not going to just rush in blindly, right?
Right.
They wait for that perfect moment to strike.
Right.
So similarly, what this trader is saying is you shouldn't just jump into a trade just because the price touches support or resistance.
Okay.
You got to wait for confirmation, wait for signs that that level is actually going to hold.
Okay, so patience is key. And they actually give some visuals, right? They have these screenshots showing examples of this stalking behavior. It's like the price is literally testing the level,
Yeah.
like dipping its toes in the water
Totally.
before taking a plunge.
Yeah. And the trader's looking for these specific patterns in the price action
Okay.
to confirm that the level is likely to hold. They even talk about using a custom indicator
Okay.
to help them identify like the really promising setups.
Okay, so it's not just like blindly buying at support or selling at resistance. There's this
Yeah.
whole process. Yeah. Of analysis and confirmation involved.
Yeah.
But even with like a really solid strategy, isn't trading still pretty risky?
Oh, absolutely. No trading strategy is foolproof. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
The markets are always changing, evolving. There's always going to be some uncertainty.
Yeah.
That's why this trader is super focused on risk management.
Right, and that's what I think is so interesting because this trader is almost obsessed with protecting capital. They literally say something like, preserving your account is priority number one, making money is secondary.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive, right, for a lot of people, but incredibly important
Yeah.
because you could have the best entry strategy in the world, but if you're not good at managing risk,
Yeah.
if you don't manage risk effectively,
Yeah.
one bad trade can just wipe you out.
Wipe out weeks or months of gains.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. So this trader's not advocating for reckless gambling.
No.
It's all about calculated risks and making sure those losses are manageable. And then they introduce this concept, a static stop loss.
A stop loss, it's like an insurance policy for your trade.
Okay.
It's an order that you place to automatically sell your position
Okay.
if the price moves against you by a certain amount. So a static stop loss means you set it at a fixed price level no matter what happens.
Okay. So it's almost like saying, okay, I'm willing to risk this much on this trade,
Yeah, exactly.
but no more.
Exactly.
And by using a static stop loss, you're taking your emotions out of it.
Yeah,
You're not second-guessing yourself. You're not
exactly.
letting fear or greed
Yeah, you're not letting your feelings
dictate your
Freedom,
decision.
yeah. Exactly. And this trader argues that using a static stop loss is crucial
Okay.
for maintaining discipline and sticking to your trading plan. They even give like really specific instructions on how to calculate your position size
Wow.
based on your stop loss level and your overall risk tolerance.
So this is all about like being proactive
Yeah.
and managing risk before you even enter a trade.
Totally.
Wow. But the article doesn't just focus on, like, the technical aspects of trading. They even get into the psychology.
Yes, the mental game.
Yeah.
This trader really emphasizes that trading is as much a mental game
Okay.
as it is technical.
Yeah.
They talk about FOMO, like the fear of missing out,
Oh, yeah.
and how they can lead to impulsive decisions,
Yeah.
costly decisions.
Right. It's so easy to get caught up in the excitement of the markets
Yeah.
and start chasing trades or just jumping in without doing the proper analysis.
Yeah, for sure.
But this trader's like, chill out. Wait for your setup.
Exactly.
Don't let your emotions, like,
Yeah.
cloud your judgment.
Patience and discipline are key here. It's all about waiting for the right opportunities,
Okay.
not forcing trades just because you feel like you need to be in the action.
Okay, so we've got the basics of support and resistance levels, this idea of stalking the level, the importance of risk management, and emotional control.
Right.
But what I'm really curious about is, does this strategy actually work?
Right.
Is it really possible to consistently be profitable using this approach?
That's a great question, and that's something we're going to explore more
Okay.
as we get deeper into this article. But before we get there, let's actually take a look at some of the specific examples
Okay.
and screenshots that this trader provides
Okay.
to illustrate their strategy in action.
Sounds good. Let's see if we can decipher this cheat code and unlock the secrets of support and resistance trading.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're ready to really dive into the specifics
Yeah.
of this trader's support and resistance strategy. And the article gives these, like, fascinating examples, right? Complete with screenshots
Yes.
of actual price charts.
Like, and you can see the levels marked
All right.
so clearly. Like in one example, you can literally see the price like bouncing off the support level multiple times, like a basketball bouncing on the court.
It's almost like the price is, like, respecting
Yeah.
these boundaries,
Yes.
these, like,
Yeah.
invisible lines that are just, like, dictating its movement. But the trader's not just buying blindly
Yeah.
when the price touches support
No.
or selling when it hits resistance.
Right.
They're looking for something more specific.
Yeah, they're looking for confirmation. It's not enough for the price to just touch the level.
Okay.
They want to see signs of strength
Okay.
or weakness before they actually enter a trade.
Okay.
So, for example, if they're looking to buy at support,
Okay.
they might wait for the price to bounce off that level
Yeah.
with, like, increasing volume or momentum.
Oh, okay.
That indicates that, like, buyers are stepping in,
Okay.
like, with conviction.
Okay.
And if they're looking to sell at resistance, they might wait for the price to, like, stall or reverse at the level, suggesting that sellers are in control.
Huh?
So the key is to be patient
Okay.
and wait for the right setup, even if that means missing out on some trades.
And that's where, like, the discipline comes
Yeah.
in. 'Cause
Exactly.
it's so easy to get caught up in the FOMO and
Right.
just jump into a trade.
Yeah.
But this trader is all about, like, being selective
Yeah.
and waiting for those, like,
Yeah.
high probability setups.
Exactly. And, they use that custom indicator
Yeah.
to help them with this. They say it's like a tool that automatically identifies those support and resistance levels,
Okay.
and it filters out all the noise.
So it's almost like having a second set of eyes,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
constantly scanning those charts,
Yeah.
looking for those key levels
Yeah.
that align with their strategy.
Exactly. And it doesn't just identify the levels, right? It gives you more information.
Yeah.
Like, how strong is that level? How many times has it been tested? Is the price approaching it with momentum?
Wow. Okay. Starting to see how this all kind of,
It's all coming together.
yeah. They've got the system for identifying those support and resistance levels. They've got their criteria for confirming a trade setup.
Mhm.
They've got this custom indicator to help them filter
Yep.
and analyze the data. But even with all that, trading is still a game.
Of probabilities.
Yeah, probabilities.
Absolutely.
Right.
You never know for sure what's going to happen.
Right.
Right. But this trader really stresses back testing
Okay.
their strategy to make sure that it actually has an edge statistically.
Okay. So for those of us who aren't professional traders, can you explain
Yeah.
back testing?
So imagine like you had a time machine,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And you could go back
Yeah.
and see how your strategy would performed in the past.
Okay.
That's basically what back testing is.
Okay.
You're running your trading rules
Okay.
on historical data to see how often you would have won, how often you would have lost, what your overall profit or loss would have been.
So it's like a
simulation.
yeah, like a simulation.
A way to test drive your strategy
Yeah.
before you risk any real money.
Okay.
in the live markets.
Okay, so this trader claims
Yeah.
that their support and resistance strategy,
Right.
combined with like their specific rules
Hmm.
and their risk management techniques,
Right.
has consistently produced positive results
In the backtest.
in their backtests.
Yes.
Wow. So they're not just relying on intuition
Hmm.
or gut feeling.
Well,
They're actually backing up their claims
yes.
with data
With data.
and analysis. But even with all this evidence, isn't there always a chance that the market could just like throw a curveball
Yeah. Yeah.
and their strategy could stop working?
That's always a possibility. No strategy is perfect, right? And markets are always changing. But this trader also stresses that you have to be adaptable.
Okay.
You got to constantly be monitoring your results, tweaking your rules, adjusting your approach
Yeah.
as needed.
So it's not about like finding that holy grail
Yeah.
and then just like blindly following it forever.
Yeah.
It's about having that framework, that process
Yes.
for identifying those opportunities, managing the risk,
Yeah.
and constantly like
Learning.
and adapting.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's take a step back for a second.
Yeah.
And look at the bigger picture here.
Right.
What are some of the key takeaways
Yeah.
we can learn from this trader's experience, even if we're not planning
Right.
on becoming like professional traders?
Well, first of all, it shows how important it is to have a plan.
Okay.
This trader doesn't just randomly buy and sell
Right.
based on a gut feeling.
Yeah.
They have a clearly defined strategy
Yeah.
with specific rules for entry, exit, risk management.
It's like having that roadmap.
The roadmap.
Yeah, for navigating
The markets.
You know where you're going, you've got a plan for getting there,
Yeah.
and you have those contingency plans in
Yeah.
case things
For when things go wrong.
don't go exactly as expected.
Exactly.
Yeah. And second, I think it really underscores like the importance of discipline
Yeah.
and emotional control.
Absolutely. Crucial.
This trader talks like extensively about
Yeah.
the dangers of FOMO
Yeah.
and just the need to like stick to your plan,
Stick to the plan.
even when the markets are volatile
Yeah.
and your emotions are running high.
Yeah. Those are the toughest times
Yeah.
to stick to the plan.
Yeah. So it's not just about having
Yeah.
a good strategy. It's about having
It's the mental fortitude.
a mental fortitude to
Yeah.
execute that strategy consistently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And third, this trader's approach, it really emphasizes continuous learning
Okay.
and adaptation.
Yeah.
They're not content to just like sit back,
Right.
relax.
Yeah.
They're always back testing their strategy, monitoring their results, tweaking their approach.
So it's not about finding that magic
Yeah.
formula and
Well,
just like blindly following it forever.
Yeah.
It's about
It's about having a growth mindset,
yeah.
being willing to learn from your mistakes
Yeah.
and constantly evolving.
Yeah. So even if you're not interested in like
Yeah.
trading
Yeah.
those principles.
These principles apply
Yeah.
to anything
Yeah, yeah.
where you have to make decisions
Yeah.
with calculated risks
Yeah.
and potential rewards.
Okay, so we've explored those technical aspects of this trader's support and resistance strategy.
Yeah.
But there's like another dimension we haven't really touched on yet.
Okay.
The psychological aspect.
Oh, yes.
How do they manage their emotions? How do they deal with the inevitable losses
Yeah.
that come with trading?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to get into. In the final part of this deep dive,
Okay.
we're going to really explore this trader's insights
Okay.
on trading psychology.
Okay.
Like, how do they manage stress? How do they stay focused? What's their overall philosophy
Okay.
on dealing with the mental and emotional challenges of the markets?
All right. Sounds like a fascinating discussion.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
So we've gone over this trader system for finding those support and resistance levels, their careful approach to risk management, and even how they use those custom indicators. But, I think what's really striking is their emphasis
Yes.
on the psychological side
Yeah.
of trading.
It's huge. It's something that so many people just overlook. They get so caught up in the charts and the indicators
Yeah.
that they forget that trading is really like a human endeavor.
Yeah, yeah.
And human beings, we're emotional.
Right. We're not robots.
No?
We can't just, turn off our feelings.
Yep. And make perfectly rational decisions. This trader even talks about, their own struggles with fear and greed, especially like early in their career. They're admitting to making impulsive trades, chasing losses,
Yeah.
letting cloud their judgment.
And I think it's so refreshing
Yeah.
to hear that honesty.
Yeah.
They're not putting themselves out there
Right.
as like this perfect trading guru.
Yeah.
They're saying, hey, I've made mistakes.
Yeah.
This is what I've learned.
Exactly. And I think that makes their insights so much more valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
They're speaking from experience,
Yeah.
not just like
Yeah.
theory. They really emphasize the
Mhm.
importance of developing what they call a trader's mindset,
Yes.
which is all about like discipline,
Yes.
patience, emotional detachment.
Mhm.
And they give some like really practical tips
Yeah.
for how to actually like cultivate this mindset. Like, for example, they talk about the importance of, having a trading plan and actually like sticking to it no matter what.
Right. Like having rules.
Yeah, like a set of rules.
Yes, exactly.
You follow consistently, even when,
Yeah.
your emotions are telling you to do something else.
Even when you want to do something different.
Yeah.
And they talk about managing expectations.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, don't expect to get rich quick.
Right, right.
Trading's a marathon, not a sprint.
And they're realistic about losses.
Absolutely.
They're like, losses are inevitable.
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
It's part of the game. The key is to learn from them and keep going.
Oh,
They even suggest, like, keeping a trading journal
okay.
to track your progress
Okay.
and look for patterns in your behavior.
So it's about being self-aware,
Yes.
recognizing your strengths and weaknesses,
Yeah.
and constantly working to improve.
Exactly.
And they talk about like managing stress,
Yeah.
taking breaks when
Yeah.
need.
And they have this whole routine
Oh,
for
yeah.
how they start their trading day.
Yeah, they meditate, exercise,
Yeah.
eat a healthy breakfast
Yeah.
to make sure that like they're in the right headspace
Get ready to go.
before they even like look at those charts.
Yeah.
Like they're treating trading as a profession, not
Sure.
just
Yeah.
a hobby.
Exactly.
They're putting in the time and effort
Yeah.
to develop the skills and habits
For success.
for success. Okay, so we've talked about a lot in this deep dive.
Yes.
We explored support and resistance levels. This trader's kind of unique strategy for stalking the
Yeah.
level,
Hmm.
their like meticulous approach to risk management,
Yeah.
and even their insights on trading psychology.
Right. And while this information is super useful for anyone
Yeah.
interested in trading, I think there's a bigger takeaway here
Okay.
that goes way beyond finance.
Yeah, absolutely. This deep dive has been about so much more than just
Yeah.
like making money in the markets, right? It's about developing a mindset for success.
Yes.
In anything.
Yeah. Anything that involves risk and reward.
Yeah. It's about having a plan, being disciplined, managing your emotions,
Yeah. Yeah.
constantly learning and adapting.
And understanding that success is a journey, not a destination.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a journey
Yeah.
with ups and downs.
So if you're feeling inspired to explore the world of trading, or even if you're just looking for ways to just improve your decision making
Yeah.
and achieve your goals in any area of life, remember those principles that we
Yeah.
talked about today?
Yeah. The principles apply.
Find your edge,
Yeah. Find your edge.
develop a plan,
Right.
manage your risk,
Manage your risk.
and never stop learning.
Keep learning. And remember, trading, like life, it's not about perfection.
Yeah,
It's about progress.
beautifully said. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we'll catch you in the next episode where we'll explore another fascinating topic. That's sure to like expand your mind and challenge your perspectives. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing yourselves to be the best version of you.